Come. Most High Christ. Most High Christ. My brothers. Bear with me 1 second, Israel. We're going to start rocking and rolling in 1 second. We're going to start rocking and rolling. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatham, Yahweh Shemar Thumb Bashem Yahshua. I am priest and officer Yediah, officer 5,000, holding it down till 12 Shield General Mahayaman gets here. General Mahayaman to be here. You know what I mean? Type your questions in online. First, we got to understand, man, as the Lord's chosen people, as Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, true Jews of antiquity, we have to understand we have to come out of the world. We have to understand that America is not our rest. I understand things is going to get rough. Things is rough right now. Things is rough right now in the Bible. Understand that things is rough right now. What should we do as the Lord's chosen people? What should we do? I'll tell you. Especially if you're a brother in the UPK. Hey, Bob, give me what I asked for.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Salakia. Let me get there with you. Read it again from the top.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Listen, no man that warreth affairs, you know what I mean? No man that warreth, you know what I mean? Read.
Entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. That
entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Meaning this, man. If you, especially understand if you're in the UPK, and which is so heavy, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the things of this life. Meaning you're going to go through things. You're going to go through things in this truth. Things are going to happen to you. I mean, I don't know who told you there's going to be all sunshine and rainbows in here. I'm going to tell you what Captain Ahmad Shaw told me. When you come in this truth, man, Satan is going to work 100 times harder to get you back in his hands, to try to get you to come out of this truth, to try to convince you, you know what I mean, to step out of this truth, to step out of this brotherhood, to go back into the world, to go back into death. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to understand, you're going to have to go to battle. The hardest battle you're going to have to face is within. You're going to battle your flesh. Your flesh wants to destroy you. You're going to want to get high. You're going to want to, you know what I mean, do every abomination under the sun. Especially, you know what I mean, what you need to understand, they promote that all throughout our people, especially to our brothers and sisters in the world. That's why Paul said in Corinthians, man, you know what I mean, get me right, Bob, where he said, you know what I mean, I glorify my infirmities. When I am weak, I am strong. Right. Paul had to go to the Lord 3 times to get something, you know what I mean, to get an affliction, you know what I mean, get away from him. Paul was going to do something that was dreadful. That he went to the Lord 3 times, thrice. And the Lord told him, my grace is sufficient for thee. You know what Paul said? He ain't make excuses. He didn't fall weak. He said, con out of one con. Con out of one con. And that's how we have to be. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. As a matter of fact, I read verse 3 first. Then get to that. This is the good part. That's perfect. But read verse 3.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, and verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness.
Endure hardness. You got to endure it, man. You have to endure. Things is going to happen. Things is going to get rough. You think it wasn't rough for Moses? You think it wasn't rough, you know what I mean, for Salaki? You think it wasn't rough for Joshua and Caleb? It wasn't rough for Isaiah and Jeremiah. You can forget about it, man. You think it wasn't rough for our King, Yahweh Mashiach, and the disciples, and Peter on down to Paul? It was rough. And it's going to be rough now. You have to endure hardness, especially around this time, because Satan is going to mess with your mind. Satan's going to mess with you and make it seem like, and you know who Satan's going to use, Ibad? He's going to use your family. He's going to use your father, your mother, your brother, your sister. May use a rib. May use your wife. Right. Use your kids. You have to endure hardness. You can't fall weak. How many times have I talked to brothers that have fallen weak and make excuses? Excuses is for the Christian church. Excuses is for the Muslim mosques. Excuses are not acceptable in the eyes of our God Yahweh and our King Yahweh Shah Mashiach in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. If you go into any I.S.U.P.K school, you'll find our banner is no excuses. There are no excuses when you come in here, man. Now is the time to get right. Now is the time to endure hardness, man. It's going to get rough. It's going to. You know what you should do when things get rough? You should glorify the Most High. You should, because you're being tested, and you're not going to be tested above measure. The Lord not going to put you in a situation that you can't defeat and overcome. You got to conquer that war within. You got to say, I ain't going to do this in the world. I ain't going to celebrate Labor Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, my birthday, New Year's Eve. I was talking to a sister I bought the other day. She could not believe I do not celebrate my birthday. I'm like, it is a regular day. The Lord said in Ecclesiastes, does one day excel another? They are all like the other days. There are days that the Lord, seem to be hallowed. There are days that the Lord made to be holy. The Day of Atonement is holy. The Feast of Tabernacles is holy. What the Lord is going to have, what we're going to have in the U.P.K. under the Most High, under our King Yahweh Shah. Man, the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, the I.S.U.P.K, we're going to be in London. We're going to be out there in the U.K., King James Castle, man, for the Feast of Tabernacles. We're going to be celebrating the feast, of Purim, the feast, of the memorial of the high holy day, the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. We got the Feast of Tabernacles. We also got Hanukkah coming up. We have high holy days. We have feast days. We got the Sabbath. We have the Passover. We have days that the Lord glorified and made holy that we have to observe. Your birthday don't mean nothing. Your Christmas, your Thanksgiving, none of that means nothing. You have to endure, man. You can't fall weak because your family is say, oh, this is what they'll say about. They'll tell you, oh, you don't even seem like you no more. You a new man. That's what my mother told me. Mother told me, you don't even look like my son. You look like my son is gone. I had to let her know. Guess what, Mom? Your son is gone. That wicked sinner is gone. Right. The Lord raised up in the I.S.U.P.K a priest under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. And I say, Barakatah Yahweh was shy for it, man. Because this truth is the only thing that can save our lives. And we have to endure hardness. Right. We can't fold, man. Could you imagine, right? Could you imagine if our king folded? Satan came to Christ. You think Satan just came to you? No, Satan came to Christ. Offer Christ everything of this world. And you know what Christ said? Get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind me. That's what he said. That's the type time we have to be on. That's how we have to move. I'm not saying rough times ain't going to come. Hard times going to come. But we have to endure that hardness. Why? Read.
Oh, God. As a good soldier.
As a good soldier. You got to be a good soldier, man. Let me tell you something. Tell you something about being a good soldier. If you're a young brother that's coming out of the world, man, that's coming in these classes, especially if you in all black, how about Shema Shabbat? That is a beautiful thing out here. That is a beautiful thing, man. Like, I love to see brothers come up in here, man, put their all black on, that's willing to shed themselves of this world, to change their lives, man. Don't matter who you was in the world. The nigga you was in the world was an evil, wicked sinner. That's right. Was an evil, wicked sinner. I ain't know that nigga. You know who I know Nabah? I know Ibad Ayah. I know Mathum Yah. Right. I know Quatnazar Karab. I know Nathunya Allah. I know Nabah. And y'all know Yediah. Guess what? Right. The Lord raised us up under Commander GEN.YAHANNA here in the U.P.K. We have a duty to our God, our King, an oath that we take to endure hardness as a good soldier. And guess what? I'm going to tell you something you probably didn't know. You don't have to be a soldier. You can come up in here, chill with the Akim, pay your tithes, come to class, watch class online, That's tawab. That's good. That's beautiful. But if you want to get up in this work, understand something, Akwafi, I beseech thee. If you're going to be a brother, especially a brother, you're going to come in here and put on that all black, don't take it lightly. Don't. If you're going to be in here, understand what you're fighting for. You're fighting to build Christ's kingdom. And if you become an officer, because you could just become a trooper and be cool, you could be Tawab, make the kingdom, do whatever you got to do, pay your tithes, keep the commandments, you Tawab. But if you become a priest, if you become an officer here in the UPK, your life don't belong to you no more, brother. Your life belongs to the Most High in Christ. And then belonging to the Most High Yahweh and doing what our King commanded us to do, to love our brothers, man, to love our brothers so much, to love our God so much, to raise the dead, to go out there to give our brothers and sisters the thing that we have, the greatest thing that we ever can receive. The biggest misconception is that you can make it in Esau's kingdom, make a certain amount of money, get a home, and be Tawab. No, the greatest thing a Black or Latino or Native American Indian can receive is the truth according to the Bible via the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, because this is the home of the truth and the only place the truth lives. The truth does not live in the sodomite, homosexual, faggot organization, IUIC. It doesn't belong to them. They are not priests of the Lord, man. They are wicked, evil bastards. It's not in them. It's not in your fake Israelite groups. It's not in your church. It's not in your Muslim. The truth is here in the UPK under command of GEN.YAHANNA. So if you're a young brother, understand this. If you're going to become a trooper and become an officer, you have to endure hardness as a good soldier. Read that, Bible.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, and verse 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Listen, man, thou shalt endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. You have to endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai, of our King. Our King did not die so you can continue to be a homosexual sodomite, masquerading in purple, thinking you doing God's will, when you're really a sucker for your real daddy, who's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Thinking you're doing the work of our God and our King, and you a sucker for the Christian church, a sucker for the Muslim mosque. You gotta endure hardness and come in here and war with your brothers. War with the Aki. That's what you have to do. Because we go to war. And it's like my big brother officer 5,000 knocks said. It's a war going on outside. And it's a spiritual war. It's a war within. Satan wants to get you off your square. That's why I said, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. You cannot worry about what that bitch says. Salakia for my language. That's a lot of brothers' problem. And the funny niggas is worried about what that sister say. That's why a lot of y'all's in IUIC. Because your rib said, oh, you can't strangle you. You gotta go to her. You gotta go to the guys in purple. They believe in one white. They believe in this. You know what they believe in? They believe in murder. They believe in extortion. Let me tell you something, man. It's so crazy. Everything that they want to put on us, the enemies of our God do that. Like RICO charges should be put on the Christian church, the Muslim minds, and every fake Israelite group, because they get away with actual murder. Look up Jordan Morgan. They get away with actual grand larceny and theft. You can look these things up. The UPK has a perfect track record. Why? Because we do what our God said to do. And more importantly, the Most High God Yahweh set up the I.S.U.P.K. He sent Abba. He sent Chief Ed Priest Mashab, Ariyah, Raikwa, Lahab, you know what I mean, Yeshaya, Shaw, you know what I mean, Kazak. Sent these priests, man, these powerful priests and prophets of the Lord. Sent Commander GEN.YAHANNA, who's been holding it down since the early 80s, since he was a young brother, a young man, holding it down and not folding, and then gave him powerful generals. You know what I mean? The generals that we got now in the I.S.U.P.K. General Mahayaman to be here shortly. General Mahayaman, General Ha. You know what I mean? General Anya Shamar, General Kongwa, General Kalamah, all these powerful captains and officers here in the UPK. Everything else is not of the truth. That's why it says, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. No, you can't worry about what this life is going to go at you, because life is going to happen. You know what happens to most of our people when life happens? You fold. When life happens, when the rent is due, when the mortgage is due, when the bills is due, when you are suffering and going through it, you fold. You can't fold if you're in the I.S.U.P.K. You can't. You are not ordered. You don't have an option. You're not ordered to fold. You are commanded to conquer, commanded to win, no matter what you're going through. And I'm not saying we don't go through things, because we all do. But you know what we understand? Which is something that our King taught us. We have our God. We have our King. We have each other. That's why this place is the only place where brotherhood lives. Because it's damn near impossible to lose when you're in here. Right. Just to make it in these doors, no matter where you are across the earth. If you made it into the I.S.U.P.K. in these classes, you won. You're winning. You're up. You're up in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. You can't afford to fold. You can't afford to quit. You can't afford to fall weak. You've been losing all your life. Now you're winning. Now you're up. That was not the time to fall weak and fold, man. So our God told us, man, we have to endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Mashiach. We are not committed to fold, man. Right. We have to endure whatever comes our way. We have to. Because if you don't, it's going to be sad, man. You don't want to go out sad. You don't want to go out bad. You know how many of our people go out bad in the Bible? Fall back into whatever you're going through. The thing that the Most High saved you from, you don't go back. Don't you realize you conquered one demon just to go back and have 7 more demons jump you? You beat one demon coming up in here just to go back so 7 plus demons can stroll you and roll on you, man. You got to stay strong in here. Right. You know why? The demons can't conquer us. Right. Like Captain 13,000 Kyle Ryan said, what's a demon to a cult leader? Right. The demons ain't gonna be able to conquer us, right? And they're not gonna be able to conquer you. Right. You know what you have to do? You have to endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Mashiach. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. We shouldn't even worry about those things, man. Those things shouldn't even be like the fun. Those things shouldn't even be an option. It shouldn't be. You may have memories of a dead man, but that's exactly what they are. Memories of a dead man. Let them die. Right. Let those memories die. I'm gonna tell you a memory you should always keep. What was told to me. Never forget why you came in here. Right. Never forget what brought you in here and how you got here. Remember these days in all black. Remember these trooper days, man. Remember your days as a young officer. Right. And continue to endure. Right. We have no choice, Akim and Akwafi. We have no choice. Right. We have to endure as a good soldier of Christ. No man that war entangle himself with the affairs of this life. I don't care what's going on in your life. You can conquer it. You're in the right place. Rock. You ready to come out? Get it on. Who did the work on the podium? Well done. Give him a hand. Good job, Bob. Good job. That's good. Looks expert. See, you know what you're doing. Let's get it on out there. Walking out there. Let's rock and roll. I'll get your questions together when you have them. Uno momento. Las aquí, mi gente, sacerdotes y oficiales, Yahweh en el nombre de Yahweh te bendiga. Stand by. Please. I would say it's smaller or right. Oh, no, I feel so. I mean, it looks like it tastes perfect, right? It looks like you said, it's about perfect. Yeah. Okay, come on. Sacerdote. Mi nombre es Israel
Mahayaman soy tu hermano y estos son los anuncios. Somos la escuela israelita de conocimiento práctico universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125 Harlem, Nueva York, desde 1969, debajo del comando General Yahanna. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres latino, negro o indio nativo, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido. Dios, tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa. Let's begin. Questions, let's have it. Whenever you get them, let's read them and let's go over them. I'll give you a few precepts I need to go over. I need to go over Jeremiah 3, Jeremiah the 3rd chapter. I also need to go over, bear with me. What did you have questions on? Psalms 62 and 5. We'll take it down to 8. If anyone has questions, I'll deal with them right now, immediately. Any questions online? Let me get those clips too I sent you. Okay. Put it anywhere. It's rocking a little tape. Put it right here. Put it right in this spot. Oh, okay. Yeah, you move it over a little more. A little more right there. Okay. So,
We do have some questions.
I'll take some questions online.
Sir. Brother said, Shalom, General. If your brother still uses slang from the world, like I swear, on my mama, etc., is it tawad if it's just being used slightly like a phrase used to end your sentence?
Okay, it is not UPK culture to use phrases built on religious context in the world. Like bless you. Brothers in the UPK would never say bless you when someone sneezes. It's just not something that is part of our culture. And culture is important when you have none and you start to take other people's cultures as your own. We don't know what our culture is, so our culture becomes American culture, Haitian culture, West Indian culture. And inevitably, those cultures are the cultures of the hombre diablo, of our oppressor that's here in these lands set over us to torment us. Saying I bless you, saying bless you after a sneeze comes from that. It's a remnant of when the Black Plague was running rampant and people thought you were going to die. I'll take it upstairs. People thought you were going to die when you sneezed. They thought it was the beginning of showing the signs of the plague. So when you said "Hachu," it was like, oh shit, bless you, brother. Please don't die on me. It began to be that during the COVID-19 virus as well. Somebody coughed on a plane, brother. The whole plane would turn the hell around like, what in the hell is wrong with you? That's the way it was when the Black Plague was running rampant. So people say, bless you. Crossing your fingers. Crossing your fingers is from the Catholics because they're putting this thing on the cross, on the name of Jesus. So they cross their fingers when they want something good to happen. People say good luck or bad luck because luck is the god fortune, right? It's luck as a god. It's a Greek god. It's a Celtic god, the god of luck. So you want luck to be good. You don't want bad luck. You want luck to be good to you. These things are not part of our culture because they're based in religion. Everyone understands. So you just want to look at the thing that you're saying and see if it's based in religion. If it's not based in religion, then it doesn't matter. If some things are just things that people say from your neighborhood, from your city, then that's fine. That's no problem at all. But if it's based in the worship of a God, then you should not say it if you worship the one true living God. Does everyone understand? Next. Please, let me get the warrior up front. Go ahead.
Sir. I just had a question on Matthew 1:25. My specific question was, and when it says you are not, Does that mean he didn't have intercourse again with her until?
Read it.
Okay.
And they were not married until the birth of their first son. Is that what it says?
It says, and knew, this is from Matthew 1 verse 25, and knew her not till she had brought forth her firstborn son.
Exactly. Christians read that like when they read that, they see he knew her not until after she brought forth her firstborn son. They see the word after, even though it's not in there. So they believe that this scripture is saying they did not they did not have sex until after she had her firstborn son. But of course, that's not what it says. It says he knew her not until she brought forth her firstborn son, which means they had sex and had a baby on the first time. That's what that means. And if you, some of you brothers who have done that, you know what a shock it is. You have sex one time. Most times you think the baby is not yours because you think, what? We only had sex one time. That baby cannot be mine. Yes, it can. Right? If you had sex once, you could have gotten her pregnant that one time. You could have gotten her pregnant then. It's shocking to you, but it can happen, which is what this precept is about, which means also gives more proof that the sex that Mary and Joseph had was of the Holy Spirit. The Most High God wanted them to have sex, even though their parents were against it, even though it wasn't the proper time in their life to start a family. The Holy Spirit came upon Mary and she did conceive. Joseph had sex with Mary, and the first time they had sex, he got her pregnant. That's what this precept is about. Everyone understands. Next.
Sister asked.
No knife, right? Continue. I shall obey. Continue.
Yeah, sister asked if she can get a general breakdown of Ecclesiastes, chapter 38, verse 12.
No problem.
Ecclesiastes, chapter 38, verse 12.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 38 and verse 12. Then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him.
Is that some? Do we having problems with that sound like I'm hearing, or is that all right? Okay. You want me to wait, pause then? Go ahead and read it again.
God. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 38, verse 12. Then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him.
Read one verse above it.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 38, verse 11. Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being.
This is speaking about to the Most High, and when you come into the temple, go ahead.
Verse 12. Then give place to the physician.
Then give place to the physician. This precept is something so vital to survival. And because of the internet and because of witchcraft and because of superstition, so many people have died. The Bible is saying that go to the Most High God, obey the Lord, keep his commandments, give him what he requires of you, then give place to the physician and obey his words. Everyone that is healed because of a combination of two things: a skillful hand by a doctor that's blessed by the Most High God. The Most High God blesses the skillful physician. You understand? If you go into the hospital and you have cancer and you have to go through so many, levels of chemotherapy and so many courses of chemotherapy, or 1,000 terrible illnesses that can happen to you here in this hell under this curse, those cures, those treatments cannot work without the Most High God blessing them. It can't work. And so the Lord is telling you, do what the Most High tells you to do, then take heed to the physician. Black people died at an amazing rate in 2022, being afraid of going to the doctor, scared to death to go to the doctor. But what did black people do? Go to church. They went to church until the church closed the doors and said, you can't come in anymore. Right? Black people believe in superstition. Hispanics believe in superstition and nonsense. What superstition am I talking about? Sunday morning church is superstition. You'll go into a church and let some idiot smack you on your forehead and believe he healed you, when everyone else who he smacked on the forehead is dead and died of their illness. But you march in there ready to give yourself to Jesus, believing he'll cure your cancer. But you will not go to the physician. Well, guess what? You don't go to God either, because God is not in the church. God doesn't bless you because God isn't in the church. If you believed in the Most High God, he would bless the doctor that works on you. Everyone understands. That's what this precept is talking about for the sister, all right? Next.
Search. Another sister asked, Shalom, can I get a breakdown of Hebrews 13 and verse 9 on the show?
Hebrews 13 and 9, read it. You can give me all the questions out. You can give me the negative ones too. I notice I never get a negative question anywhere. That must be a reason. Okay, listen, whatever. Give me all the questions, the negative ones, the good ones, whatever. Let's have them, all right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Hebrews 13 and verse 9. Mm-hmm. Be not carried away with diverse and strange doctrines.
Be not carried away. You get to what that's talking about. Carried away is like imagine someone steals you, right? Imagine a kidnapping where someone takes you and now you belong to them. Well, religions can kidnap you. They can carry you away. So now you believe in some strange and diverse. The word diverse means different. And many times if you are a very sad, sick, and confused child, you can fall into a doctrine simply because it's strange, it's different, and because you're a marijuana addict and a drug addict, so you get carried away by some strange, stupid philosophy. You might be on the internet, and now you believe in God knows what silly, stupid thing that you found. Some of y'all believe the earth was flat. I heard about that. I heard about y'all. I heard y'all was out there believing the earth is flat. Please, you die.
I could, so I got a brother in the world. I call him right now. That's part of the reason why he ain't come back. Mm-hmm. That's why he ain't come back to class.
I understand. Well, that's a strange and stupid thing. Or that the white man never went to the moon. You caught up into that. What else? There's 1,000 little idiotic things. There's so much nonsense. Rastafarianism. That's not that many people, but there's a couple of you lunatics out there. Some of you are so really is schizophrenia with a lot of you. You know, you and there. Some brother called me. Some brother had been stoning his children, hitting his kids with rocks. Mad because we ran him out of here. He tried to come into UPK. I made quick business of him, just like I'm gonna do to you. I made quick business of him. Then I heard he's calling one of the brothers saying that the grandparent is saying he's stoning his kids when they're bad. Child Services came in there and rescued those children. Right. He of course believes, he's Bible nutty. He reads the Bible and he's Bible crazy. So now he thinks he stones his kids, beats his wife to death, gives her 40 lashes. That's because you are carried away into a strange doctrine. Let me give you something else strange. Believing that a woman can have a baby without sex. That's a ridiculous and strange doctrine. Believing that you can dunk yourself in water that comes out of a spigot. Oh, do they still use that word, spigot? That's an old word for me and the brother. But what do you call it? You turn the faucet on, water comes out the damn faucet. Grandmom gets in the water. You believe she's brand new and born again, dunked in the water. That's a strange and witchcrafty religion that Christianity are. You're carried away by these things. Keep going.
Oh God. Be not carried away with strange diverse and strange doctrines. Mm-hmm. For it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace.
For it is a good thing that the heart may be established through grace. What is grace? The belief that you have broken God's commandments, and now you must take this time to keep them. That's grace. Grace is like parole. That's the best way to try to understand grace. Grace is parole. Now, there are some people that may not be on parole. Why? Because they never committed any crime. So if you never committed any crime, then you're not living by grace, right? You're living on works because you are an innocent man. You never broke any commandments, so you don't need grace. No problem. Congratulations, right? But if you have committed crime, then you are on parole. I have to live life so strict, so diligent, so careful, because I don't want to get the punishment that is waiting for me for what I've done in the past. Right. So if you want to learn something, I forget about all this virgin birth nonsense. I forget about this water you dunk yourself in. I forget about this Virgin Mary and all of the strange muckety muck and dancing, all that dancing you're doing. I don't know if I'd focus on choreography, seeing that you grew up in a house full of drug addicts. Can you imagine that blacks and Hispanics focus their entire religious life on dance choreography every Sunday, practicing the moves? Who knows that they practice those moves in church? Oh, they practice those moves. They go home, the women go home and play that gospel music, and they practice and know what they're going to do, get it together. They practice speaking in tongues in their home. They go in the bedroom and they go, hush, I don't shit down. I've had a little more hush next time. Hush, wait, I need a little more baba. And then Sunday comes at showtime, and they go in there, hush, they practice choreography instead of making sure they keep the commandments of God, making sure they treat each other the way God says to treat each other, making sure they raise their children based on the commandments of God. That's grace. Good to go? Next.
Got some knuckleheads on TikTok.
What's happening?
Okay.
You got their names?
Okay, one brother, his name is Mad Hat Hafi.
Mad Hat Hafi?
On TikTok.
Okay, are you familiar with him? Is he on here regularly?
Lots.
He's new. Mad Hat Hafi. Go ahead.
He said, "Why do you got the devil sign behind you? I thought you knew that."
Oh, you see that there? You're talking about the shield. That's what I was just trying to teach about. That is a strange and perverse doctrine throughout the world. The belief that the shield of David is the star of Molech. That is straight from white supremacists. That's who teaches that. Give me any video of a white supremacist talking about the star of Molech. Let me try to explain what Matt Hafi is talking about, right? Or Matt Hafi is speaking about. I think it might have been around about the 80s. The 1980s, or maybe the early 90s when I first came into the truth in the mid 90s, where white supremacist groups began to circulate videos saying that what they called the Star of David was actually the Star of Molech because of the word star that's in the Bible, and the word star, which is what Jewish people call the shield of David. So-called Jewish people call it the Star of David. So white supremacists, because they hate Jewish people, they went into the Bible and they saw the word star, and they began to say, that's the Star of Molech. And they were pushing this on these videotapes that everybody used to have, VHS tapes. Damn, can I not say? I can't say that. It's that context is it okay? You know what I'm talking. I'm just giving some history on it. I'll switch it up. So these were on VHS tapes, and they were pushing this like crazy. If you can't find a video, let me know. These were everywhere because mainly the white, the white power groups. The skinheads, I think, were the main group that was saying it. They were saying it was the Star of Molech. Someone pulled a precept for me. And then also you can give me the seal in Revelations. What do you have here there?
Wisdom of Solomon 13, verse 2.
Solid. Okay, someone first give me the Star of Molech. I appreciate it, boy.
The precept I have proven that the stars.
I'll take it.
Wisdom of Solomon 13, verse 2.
Go ahead.
But being either fire or wind or swift air or the circle of the star.
That's what you need. The circle of the star, perfect precept. People who are imposters call this the Star of David. It is not a star. It's not a star at all. The stars are circles. The reason it has the points is because the American flag and the woman, whoever actually made the American flag, it wasn't Betsy Ross. It was another woman Betsy Ross took the credit for it. She gave stars points, right? Because the Masons gave stars points. But a star is a circle in the sky because the sun is a star, right? Stars don't have points, all right? This is not a star. It's not the Star of Molech. It's not the Star of David. What this is, this symbol behind you, this is the seal of David or the Magun Dawada. It's the symbol for the servants, the sacerdotes y oficiales of King David. His officers wore this the way a cop wears a badge today, which is why most police officers all around the world wear the Star of David, which is what they call it, it's actually called the Shield of David because David's men wore it. It's David's name. David's name in Hebrew is Dawada. This is David's signature made in a way to seal in wax, which is why it's called the Shield of David or the Seal of David, all right? That's all I can do for you. It's precepts all over the Bible, Matt Hoffa, all right? If you need it, one of the young brothers can let you know, all right? Good to go? Next. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He was a little bit more respectful.
All right.
He was asking, what are we about? And he was asking, what this religion is. Is it Muslim?
No problem, warrior. No, we're not Muslims, and this is not a religion. Why do I say this is not a religion? Because we don't accept every race on the planet Earth, which is what religions do. There are Muslims who are Chinese, a great many Chinese Muslims. I mean, a lot. In Vietnam and in Malaysia, I mean, a lot of them. Because Islam is a religion, meaning it's a belief system, and you can be a Muslim no matter what race you are, right? Which is one of the big errors from the Nation of Islam, because they believe that you had to be black to be a Muslim, which is not true, because there are many white Muslims, many Asian Muslims, and of course, a vast majority of Arab Muslims. This is a race. What we are is a race of people. We're an ethnic group. This ethnic group consists of blacks, so-called African Americans in America, so-called Latinos, so-called Hispanics, and so-called North American Indians. We're a race of people, and you cannot join us if you don't come from that ethnic group. There's no way to join us. You could believe the exact same thing that I believe, and you could never be an Israelite. Never. Regardless of what you believe. You can absolutely agree with us, and you still could never be an Israelite, no more than if I mastered Kung Fu and mastered karate. I still would never be an Asian. You get my point? This is an ethnic group. This is a race. That's what we are. We're not Muslims, all right? Next.
Got one more question, slot this here if I could. I got a breakdown of Jeremiah 31 and 29 and 30.
Mm-hmm.
More specifically, did Christ fulfill this head? More specifically, did Christ fulfill?
What was the brother's last name? The name of the cat that asked the question?
TikTok?
Yeah.
Kamal Khan, sir. His handle was.
It's all right. If you remember, if it's too late, don't sweat it. Just give me I'll try to give him say their name to alert them that I'm answering their question, all right? Go ahead.
His name was Mike's Truth.
Mike's Truth.
He also asked, do we support Israel?
Do we support the country of Israel? No, absolutely not. We do not support the country of Israel because the country of Israel has stolen our land. We do not support them. They don't support us, Mike. And that's probably what you should really understand. No, we don't support the country of Israel in any way. We don't support America in any way. We don't support Mexico in any way. We don't support Haiti in any way. We don't support Guatemala in any way at all. These are the lands of our oppressors. So no, that's for Mike. I forget his name. Go ahead.
Another question from TikTok. Sister, Shariah, she's asking, she's a daughter, is 55 plus years old.
All right.
She was asking, like, why don't we accept that Hamites that are over there in Africa that believe they are Jews?
I totally understand. Ask the sister this question. If I believe that I was Chinese, does that mean that the Chinese must accept me? If I spoke Chinese well, Mandarin, I could speak Mandarin and write that ridiculous language and eat with sticks. Ain't that something? This is what kills me. Why do people think Asians are so smart when they eat with sticks, which is an absolutely inefficient way to get food in your damn mouth?
Right.
If you were just smart, how would you use 2 sticks to get food in your mouth? You think just logic and engineering would say, I got a shovel, right? I take a shovel, I dig up the earth. I got a shovel, I put things on top of a pile with a shovel. I go to my mouth, I use 2 sticks in my mouth. Because that's ridiculous and makes no sense at all. But they're Chinese people that have been able to use this propaganda, that they're so smart, except when you go to Wunan, China, and see them chopping up a dog and burning it up. Now those, for some reason, they're not smart over there. They damn near unalive everybody on the planet over there. But in America, they're geniuses, which I'll never know. Well, let's say I'm an Asian genius. I'm smart. I'm Asian. I'm smart. I'm Asian. Does that mean the Chinese should accept me? Let me get the sister's answer. But if you don't have it yet, you can say what you want to say. You
Oh, it's like she didn't type it yet.
Okay.
Sir, but this is what I will say. Confession guilty. So I was out with a sister earlier in this one restaurant. I know how to do it with y'all. She was struggling. She went to the waiter and was like, excuse me, I want a fork and he wants one too.
She got tired of seeing you eat with her. I hear you. Once again, eating with chopsticks doesn't make you a genius. It's pretty easy to eat with chopsticks. You just got to sit down and do it. But for some reason, the propaganda about them is that they're so smart and we're so dumb. Meanwhile, we're the ones that built everything that they cheat and lie their way out of Asia to come over here and take advantage of. But I'll digress. Come on.
She answered, but she said, how will we determine? She said, Ham is there and we're there too. Like, how do we know?
Ham is there and we're there.
How do we know that the ones that are practicing there?
I got you. Ask her, are we in China? Just ask her that question. Are we in China? Are we in Asia? Ask Kobe Bryant's father if they're in Asia. That's a place in Japan. Kobe, Japan. All right. Whenever you're ready, you let me know. All right. And then ask her if I put a dog in the oven, does that make it a lasagna? If I take a dog and shove it in the oven, is that now a lasagna? Because it's in the oven. Everybody gets the point. If you're born on a boat in the middle of the ocean, are you a mermaid? Because you are born in the ocean. Just asking that question. Go ahead. Oh, Lord. This is unheard of. She said yes. She said you're a mermaid. All right. You're a mermaid. I'm a mermaid. I'm a mermaid. I'm a Chinese mermaid. From now on, I identify as a Chinese mermaid. So you better not say I'm anything else. From here on, you better identify me as General Mahayaman, the Chinese mermaid. I got to move on, baby girl. Next.
Oh, go ahead. I'll go back to YouTube and Facebook.
The sister said yes. That's why I said that. Go ahead.
Brother Islam, sir, when Moses seen the Most High's backside, was it a vision or did he literally see him right in front of him? If you could break down that part of the show.
No problem. He saw, don't think backside like he saw his butt. Think his hinder parts. But remember, that's like seeing fire. You get my point. So just think like a man with a long garment, but the garment is fire. So if you saw the back of him, you would see fire. That's it. So I'm giving you that to give you a visualization of seeing his back. Seeing his back is not like seeing my back or your back. Seeing his back is just seeing heat that is so burning and so supernatural that it would make your face glow for the rest of your life after you've seen this heat. That's what he saw. Everybody understands. All you need is the precepts I just quoted. He saw his hinder parts. He came down off the mountain and his face was glowing. And they had to put a veil over his head because the army that marched in front of him could not pass him without stopping in shock and awe from the sight of him. All right. That's what he saw. That's the fire that he saw. Next. Sorry, in the room. Go ahead.
I said a question. I want to know about
Well, I have a question. When Moses was speaking to the burning bush, was that Yahweh or Yahweh?
That was an angel.
That was just an angel?
That was an angel. Not just an angel, but an angel. That's good. It was a heavy thing to him. So it was an angel that was inside of a burning bush. So imagine a bush on fire, and there's a man standing in the middle of the fire, which is how he knew it was not a normal man. You get the point. No sweat. Next.
Khan, sir. Brother asked, how do you stop the youth from being addicted to masturbation and masturbating to anything? It doesn't have to be pornography.
Masturbation to anything, and it doesn't have to be pornography. Explain that to me. You masturbate to this cup of scotch. Go ahead. Break it down.
We got a lot of young brothers and sisters now that are turned pansexual. Like I have a nephew who identifies as a ferret.
Okay.
I hate to say this, sir. Certain characters or animals may turn him on.
Okay, so meaning the thing he's watching, he's just looking at the Zoo Channel. Just straight up, he's just looking at the Animal Planet and make a mess. I hear you. Okay, let's give him a hand. I gotta understand it. So now, okay, so meaning there are certain people with certain sexual fetishes. Okay, which is I believe what the person now that you die explained it to me. Now I understand what that is. There have always been people with certain sexual fetishes all throughout history. There's been people like this. Some people get real turned on the bus, and they masturbate on the bus because the bus turns them on. Come on.
He elaborated. He was specifically talking about TikTok and the women that were twerking and stuff like that.
Okay, so that's not technically pornography based on what America's definition of pornography is, but it's sexualized. So it's women, being dressed, very scantily clad, dressed women, and they're dancing. And so because of that, he might gain sexual pleasure from looking at those things. All right. That's a sexual fetish like any other thing. It's not technically pornography because pornography has a definition in the American Penal Code. There's a definition of it, and that definition changes. You might wait 3 years, and that definition, is everything but, intercourse. Because it changes when people's appetite changes, when people are more accepting of sexuality in public, the definition of pornography will change. So I believe he's asking, how do you fight against it? Is that correct?
No.
Let me get you a question. Can they see them in the room? I would prefer it if they could.
No, they can see everybody.
Solid. Go ahead. Let me get the young brother right here, then you up. Go ahead.
They can see everybody.
Solid. Go ahead.
Sure. I just wanted to know if I could get a general breakdown on like if you was to deal with a heathen before you come into this truth, like do you leave her or do you continue dealing with her after you come into this truth?
Solid. That's off the topic, but I'll get you. No problem. Let me get it. Let me answer this. This is brief. Let me give you a couple of precepts on this, and then I'll get to you. All right. Give me he that taketh the city and control his own spirit. Give me I think that's a good one. That's a good one if I was to pick one. Give me, this is another good one. So he that seeketh mastery is temperate. Give me temperate in all things, all right? Please, warrior, go ahead.
YouTube thing or TikTok thing, can you consider soft porn?
Fine, I'll take it. Soft porn. Give him a hand. That's what it is. Call it that. Call it. There's a woman up there. I believe that. It's a woman now. This is if you want to understand where the demon comes from, this is the best way to understand where the demon comes from. It could be softcore porn. It could be hardcore porn. It could be just a woman walking down the street. It could be the Animal Planet channel. The issue is Self-control. That's the issue. The issue is you think that your body decides what you are sexually attracted to. In actuality, you decide what you are sexually attracted to. The decision is yours. And child molesters and society, they want you to think they decide what you are turned on by. So many people think it's just, it's just you. You're just born like this. You're not. You can decide when you have sex. You can choose. You don't have to just be taken over by some spirit that says, have sex whenever you see a giraffe. Have sex whenever you're on the bus. Have sex whenever you pick up your phone. Have sex whenever you see a porno. You're letting them decide when you have sex. If you empower yourself, then you will decide when you have sex. And that's what this is all about. That's how you fight this demon. And this goes everywhere in your life. So many of you have let someone else decide how you treat your children. Someone else decides. Who decided? Your mother decided. Your father decided. They decided. Some slave master, I think about how we have child services who have to go into a home because black children are being beat with whips and extension cords. And they think they want to beat a little child with a whip and an extension cord. Somebody decided that for you in the 1600s. They decided you are going to beat your kids with whips and extension cords and bloody their backs and make them lay face down on the bed when you do it and make them get in the bathtub and get wet when they do it. And you think that's how I want to beat my kids. Some devil in the 1600s decided that for you. Well, sexuality is the same way. You think you're gay, you think you are in the lifestyle, you think you're in the alternative lifestyle. Say again? In the rainbow lifestyle? What'd you say? In the rainbow. You think you're in the rainbow because you decided? Come on now, you didn't decide that. Your uncle decided. He decided. And someone decided for him. And someone decided for him. And I bet you it was someone in the 1600s that decided for all of you. And that demon has been in your family, assaulting child after child after child until your uncle got to you. Don't let someone else decide what turns you on. You decide. And all it takes is mastery of yourself. Right, which is where the term masturbation comes from. It's like you're taking control of your own penis instead of giving it to a woman, when really what you have to do is master your soul, your spirit, who you are. And then you'll decide to put that penis in a bad bitch, bad woman. Excuse my language. You'll decide. You sitting there giving the penis to imaginary bitches. Can I curse for a second? You sitting there giving your penis to imaginary bitches. Let me tell you what. I went to one of my ribs is a comedian. And she told the funniest but truest joke in the world, right? And she said, why is it that imaginary bitches get all the dick? That's what she said. I'm sitting there, I said, General Mahayaman, you say this shit, everybody hearing this. She said, imaginary bitches get all the dick. Bitches on somebody's phone. Cartoons. The Simpsons got a cartoon, full of naked women. The Kardashians, people that you will never meet and are not real people. Imaginary women get all the dick, real women get no dick. And I'm sitting in the audience going, oh, that is true. That was the truth. That's your phone. That is not a real woman. And she's getting all the dick. All of it. And she's not even real, and you'll never touch her, you'll never meet her, and you could never satisfy this fantasy in real life. When there is a flesh and blood woman, oh, she all but real, brother. That's a real woman out there. I pray you understand that. But you don't get to have the pleasure of it because you can't force yourself to focus. You can't force yourself not to let them decide what turns you on. I'm deciding to be turned on by a real woman. I'm making the choice. Right. I'm deciding. Not my penis. My penis is not going to decide for me. My trauma will not decide for me. Right. I'm deciding I'm putting this rod in a real flesh and blood woman. So now go down, I talk to her. Maybe some of you might meet her online. That's a lie. Listen, that ain't no sin. You meet you a nice broad on there on one of your social media applications. Meet her on there. Just meet her though. Okay, don't meet her. That's all I'm asking. Okay, just meet her. If you can do that, that's all we need. Go meet her, or you can meet her on the social media. Take her out to a nice place, you know what I mean, and laugh with her and laugh and act like she's so funny. You are witty. Where'd you learn to be so witty? I'm telling you. You laugh and she's talking and you letting her just talk. Now you don't have the patience for that to really get some tail. You gotta have patience. You gotta be up. You gotta be like this is your face right here. Go. So how old were you when that happened? You ready to leave? And then that's that, brother. And then that's all. But it takes discipline to take your body back from your trauma. Everyone understands. I'll give you 2 precepts and then I'm going. Go ahead.
Oh God. This book of Proverbs 16 verse 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. The Israelite school of UPK is slow to anger, brother. Oh, you see that everywhere we go. You see that with these purple fucking pigs. Right. We're slow to anger. Right. Give the brothers a hand, man, out there in the ATL, man. The brothers down south that fought the Battle of Atlanta. That's what they did this week. They fought the Battle of Atlanta. And they showed that the I.S.U.P.K cannot be moved. We cannot. And I'll show you that in the scriptures in 1 second. Why? Because we are professional. We're not emotional. And we are here for the long haul. We cannot be provoked. And we absolutely will defend ourselves in the moment. Right. Absolutely. Right? We are in control of ourselves. Right? We're not Antifa. The Purple Pigs, they're Antifa or the Proud Boys. That's who they are. The Purple Pigs are a terrorist group, just like the Proud Boys or Antifa. They're the exact same thing. But the UPK, you, sacerdotes y oficiales, you are priests and officers of high discipline. And you win your battles. The brothers that the Kentucky 8 battled Black Lives Matter, battled them with guns and knives and bats. Now Black Lives Matter is gone. And we're still there standing on that same street corner. Right. This we know how to do because we're well disciplined. We're trained to be this way. Everyone understands. He that is slow to anger, keep going.
Is better than the mighty.
It's better than the mighty. Someone that thinks they're so strong and they're so, tough. A ton of fake tough guys fall to someone who is patient and methodical and plotting. They fall to someone like that. Everyone understands. Keep going.
And he that ruleth his spirit.
And he that what?
And he that ruleth his spirit.
Listen, if you are a LGBT rainbow person, you're not in control of yourself. Your uncle is. The person that traumatized you. Your drug addict mother. Your drug addict father. Your father that wasn't there. Your babysitter. Your child. You don't control out a warrior. You don't control yourself. They control you. All you do is talk to a rainbow person and ask them about when their first sexual experience was. They'll tell you when they first were assaulted as a child. I've talked to hundreds of them, and I've never talked to one that didn't have that story, ever. They all have talked to women who are promiscuous and have sex with a lot of men. They'll tell you about their father and their uncle. They'll tell you about it. Or usually their stepfather. You're letting them control your spirit. That's who controls you. But he that controls his spirit, go ahead.
Then he that taketh a city.
You're greater than someone who takes a city. You're greater than some military general who bombs Baghdad and takes some Croatian city. You're better than him because you can control your spirit. If you have a problem with giving your sperm to fake women, and you would like to give your sperm to a real woman, the difference is in Self-control is in deciding it. It's in deciding it. You only have so much sperm to give on every given day. If you're going to masturbate yourself into a coma, then you will not be able to go out and get a real woman. Your desire for women will switch to a desire for imaginary bitches. Does everyone understand? Where's the other one? So, temperance, please, go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 25. And every man that striveth for mastery.
Every man that does what?
And every man that striveth for mastery.
There's that word. That's where the term masturbation comes from. It's like instead of giving it to a woman, you manipulate and master your own body. And I can certainly understand, and it's very easy to do so. I get it. It's a lot easier than having discipline and having a woman and making the changes and the compromises in one's life that must be made to have a family. I can get it. But if you are striving to actually master yourself, your soul, your being, you're going to need to be this. Go ahead.
Is temperate in all things.
The word temperate is disciplined. Temperate, to be disciplined. You check your own temperature. You keep it where you want it to be. You understand? You keep it there. So now your phone is going to have 1,000 women that are always going to say yes, because fake bitches always say yes, don't they? The bitch on your phone never says no, does she? She doesn't say no. She's right there on your phone twerking and dancing, and she thinks you're handsome. She doesn't say no. And because of that, you can lose control. But if you don't want your life to be all her, if you want a real woman, you'll have to control that. There's many things you can do. Turn the goddamn thing off. Put a child lock on your own goddamn phone if you must. Child lock your own dumbass phone. Do it. If you find yourself not caring about getting a woman, if you're single and you have no one to have sex with and you would like one, and you find that your desire to have sex with a real woman goes away because you have your phone, put a child lock on your own goddamn phone. There's 1,000 exercises I could teach you, in private. But the overall thing you need is to decide what you want to give your body to, who you want to give your body to. Everybody understands. Next. Please, up front.
I got a text from Officer Mark. He wants you to break down 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 11.
Go ahead.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 11. But
let me get the brother's name in Atlanta that fought the Battle of Atlanta as well. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 11. But, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried or become reconciled to her husband.
Let's call this the best way for you to understand this is these are the rules for separating in a marriage. Separation in a marriage is lawful. It's something that you could do. Now, if a woman does it, the rule is she cannot have sex with anybody else. That's the rule. So if you're so sick of him and you can't stand him, no problem. You can be away from him. You just cannot be touched by anyone else. Right. Done. Right? So if she'll be separate from him, she cannot be with another man. Keep going.
And let not the husband put away his wife.
And here's the rule. You cannot put her away. You cannot say, go be with another man. I don't want to be with you anymore. You can't do that. You get my point. Keep going.
Verse 12. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with them, let him not put her away.
Meaning he's saying this is not in the law, but I'm giving you a rule that I'm giving the schools so that we can have peace. If you're already married to someone and she's not in the truth, stay married to her. That's not in the law. Why? Because what would the law do to someone who doesn't believe in the truth? Kill them. That's what the law says to do them, to put them to death. That's what they did coming out of Egypt. They separated themselves from the mixed multitude. What was the mixture? People that believed what Moses was saying and followed him, and people that just left Egypt because all the Israelites had to go, whether they believed or not. Out in the wilderness, the people that did not believe in Moses had to go. That's when they got rid of the mixed multitude. So, but in this case, because we're all people who were sinners and who are living under grace, trying to get ourselves together from living a time of sin, you might be married to someone that doesn't believe in the Lord, who doesn't believe in the truth. You might be married to an Edomite. Like the brothers, that was your question, correct, Warrior? Yeah, you might be married to a white person, a Chinese woman, because you were in the world and you're married to them. Stay with her. That's it. If you're married to a heathen, don't leave her. Stay with her. You're already with her. It's too late. Now, if she leaves, tell her shalom. The minute she walk out that door, she should feel a little nudge, like a little push in her back. Just a little, not assault, not assault. I ain't saying that assault, but she just feels a little like, I'm leaving. Whoa, shit. She feels a little bit of that coming out the door. Okay. Or she tells you, get out. I'm telling you, get out. Where you at? As soon as she say out, when she say good, the bitch says good, you already out the door. She said, good, go to the store and give me some soda. Oh, I thought you was going to say get out. I left already. I'm in the car. I'm gone. If she kicks you out, run out. But just don't leave her. That's your question, all right? Because of precepts like this and because of Miriam. When Miriam told Moses to leave his heathen wife that he got before he came into the truth. And the Most High cursed her with leprosy. And Miriam was not a good woman, but he already had her. You get my point. Good to go here? I think that's it. Next.
Brother said, can I get a breakdown of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 20? Mm-hmm. What is a bondwoman?
Okay, read.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 20.
Let me know when I'm getting my topic.
And whosoever lieth carnally,
go ahead.
And whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to a husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freely given her, she shall be scourged.
A bondwoman is a woman who is, in essence, a slave, but not a slave the way America had slavery. Slavery has been around, forget about it, for millennia, slave. But American slavery was completely different than slavery in the past. Slavery in the past was much like signing a contract that you could not get out of. It's like a labor contract. Today, I believe it's so-called Labor Day. If you didn't know, blacks and Latinos built the labor union in America and were never able to profit from it at all. And blacks and Latinos were excluded from the New Deal, which is the largest labor revolution in America, when the government gave the American workforce all of the money and support it needed to climb out of the Great Depression and into the middle class. Blacks and Hispanics were never able to profit from it ever. Even though we, in essence, started the labor movement with the Porters Union down there, I think in Pullman, Georgia, but I'm not sure. Well, in essence, that was slavery, because you owed this person who you worked for your house, you owed him everything, so you couldn't quit. It was like having a contract that you had to finish. You couldn't leave this contract. That's a bondwoman. She's in bondage because she has to work for this person. He, in essence, owns her labor, owns her goods, owns her crops, right? So if she's a bondwoman and she cannot decide on her own who she marries, and she gets whipped. That's what scourge means, whipped. Everybody understands. Next. Done?
Did you want to go into your topic?
Okay. Did I give you the precept I needed earlier? Okay, let me see if I can find it. Stand by. I know it's in the book of Psalm 62 and 5. I think that's that. Everyone just hold it. And Ezekiel, I think 3 and 8. Okay, 62 and 5 to 8. But hold it. Any more interesting questions?
Okay, one brother says, Slocky, sir, in Genesis 27 and 34 to 37, Isaac rightfully gave Jacob the blessing. But what sort of blessings were given that couldn't be changed or added in those times?
You gotta give. I don't quite understand that. Also, give me the names of the brothers that fought the Battle of Atlanta whenever you get a chance. All right, just give me the names. I think it's about 8 names. If someone probably can hand them to you. Let me make sure I do that. I'll do that when I do my breakdown. Okay, ask the question one more time.
Sir. Brother asked, Slocky, sir, question. In Genesis 27 and 34 to 37, Isaac rightfully gave Jacob a blessing.
Of course.
What sort of blessings were given that couldn't be changed or added in those times? Like, I think he's trying to ask on how Jacob was given the blessing,
right?
And how Isaac told Esau there was nothing he could do. I think that's what the brother.
Isaac told Esau. Okay, are you saying that Isaac changed the blessing? Is that what he said?
No. You know, in Genesis, when Jacob got the blessing that was rightfully deserved, I think the brother's confusion exists. He's asking, like, how come Isaac couldn't do nothing for Esau? Like he said, what kind of blessing?
How come Isaac couldn't do? Oh, okay. Oh, I got you. So meaning Isaac blessed Jacob, even though he didn't want to bless Jacob. He wanted to bless Esau. Is that what he's saying? And so is he asking why didn't Isaac just change it?
He's asking because he asked what sort of blessings were given that couldn't be changed or added in those times.
That part I don't understand what he means. Go ahead.
I think I do, sir. I think I know what the brother is trying to say. I think what he doesn't realize is he's asking because he, Isaac wanted to give the blessing to Esau,
right?
But not realizing that blessing that was given to Jacob was right before Jacob. Esau was never supposed to get blessed. The
right?
Said that the elder shall serve the younger. And Esau was going to be blessed with the blessing. He got blessed, but because Rebekah went to the Lord and said, why am I thus? And said, the elder shall serve the younger. Jacob was always supposed to get the blessing. I think he's trying to ask, how come when he asked what blessings couldn't be changed or added, he's asking why couldn't Isaac bless Esau?
Why couldn't he just say, oh, I meant to bless Jacob, I meant to bless Esau, and take it back? Okay, then that is, if that's what he's asking, then what you just gave is his answer. Here, let me give you in essence what a blessing is, just to get it. A blessing is when a man of God gives you something that God has told him to give you. You get my point? That's it. Many of you who receive rank in the Israelite school of UPK, there's a man that anoints your head with oil, but that man was told to bless you with this rank raise. He was told to give you this authority. He was told to raise you up. So in essence, even though a man is doing it, God is the one that has ordered it done. And that's what happened with Jacob and Esau. Esau wanted to bless Isaac, Isaac wanted to bless Esau, but the Most High God wanted to bless Jacob, and the Lord said this to a prophet when they were in their mother's womb. It was always God's intention to never bless Isaac with the inheritance of Jacob, but with the inheritance of Isaac, but to give it to Jacob. So when Isaac made this so-called mistake, God did it. So it wasn't a mistake. It was Isaac fulfilling his role as the man of God that gave the son that God wanted to have this blessing, the one that was supposed to have it done. Everybody gets that. If that's his question, that's his answer. All right. It wasn't a mistake. It was nothing you could take back, and you still can't take it back. Right? If a man of God strips your blessing from you, God told him to do it. Right. All right. Isaac did not take it back, which tells you that he absolutely knew it was God's work. Right. Everyone understands. Next.
I believe the brother wanted to break down in Matthew 22, and verses 1 through 4.
When you going up, Marah? I'm just trying to time myself to when you're going up.
10 minutes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Go ahead.
You want to take this question or what's the topic?
Let me hear the question. Then either this one in the topic or not this one. Go ahead.
Okay, this brother is going to break down Matthew 22 verses 1 to 3.
Let's hear it.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22.
Do you have the names yet? I'll do the topic when you get the names. Go ahead.
Let's get the name down.
Go ahead. Please.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 1. And Jesus answered and spake unto them again by parables and said, verse 2, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding. And
I might need to do this on, it's a little long. I can absolutely break this down for you nice and flat, but you better wait till Thursday. I might need a little time to go into the Battle of Atlanta, all right? Clap it up real fast. No. I'm never going to eat in class. I can't do it. Go ahead. Whenever you got it, I'm getting it. So let me start here. Give me Ezekiel. Give me Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter first. If anyone has any last questions about the battle in Atlanta, you can let me know. Of Atlanta, you can let me know. I'll go into it briefly, as brief as I can, of course, for obvious reasons. Let me go to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. Bobbity. 3 and 7. We'll start at 3 and 7, all right? This happened after the Battle of Atlanta this week. A brother called me and asked me, he said, sir, why do we go out on the street and teach? He said, like back in the day, the UPK might have had to go out on the street. But now there's social media, there's TikTok. TikTok is sitting right here on everybody's phone. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's YouTube. There's really no reason to go out on the streets. There's no reason to do it. And because these people like the IUIC, Antifa, the Proud Boys, the Muslims, the Nation of Islam, the cops, the police, the criminals, because these people don't want us out on the street, shouldn't we just go on social media? Because that makes a lot more sense, does it not? Because if you're on social media, you don't have to deal with the people who don't want you to be out on the street. So he asked me that question. Everybody gets the point, right? And let me answer it for you right now. We're going to first start at Ezekiel 33. And what did I say just now? I'm sorry, Ezekiel 3 and 7. Read this carefully. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 7. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee.
Read that again.
But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee.
Let me tell you something that is part of doing this job. This profession that you brothers do all throughout the world for commanding Gen.YAHANNA under Christ, this is the most honorable profession to ever exist. This is the profession of Moses, of Aaron, of Peter, of Paul, of Matthew, Mark, and John, of all of the disciples of the Bible. The men who did the job that you're doing today are men that people named their children after 2,000 years later. Right. This is the most honorable job that has ever existed. I'm fine. And at the same time, this job is the one that people hate you to do the most. No one wants to hear about the failings of their own life. No one wants to hear that the thing that they believe in is the thing that's destroying them. No one has ever wanted to hear it. The Most High God told this to the prophet Ezekiel thousands of years ago. The people of Israel will not hearken unto you. People don't want us to go outside and teach up. The Muslims didn't want it in the 90s. We had to have these exact same battles with the Nation of Islam. Abu Bibbins was murdered in Newark, New Jersey by Malcolm X and his men. And we kept coming. We kept coming. We never stopped going out in the street. Many did. Many decided to go into some Shabbat Shalom temple in their house and to be Shabbat Shalom family Israelites. A lot of you fake Israelites, you'll do that too. It happens. The Israelite school of UPK, we never bend. We never break. We never give in because we don't consider it an option. Right. because it goes against the rules of our profession, the profession of Moses, the profession of Ezekiel, the profession of our King, Jesus Christ. Keep reading.
Oh God. For they will not hearken unto me.
Yes, you see that? They will not hearken unto you because they won't hearken unto me. They don't want to hear Ezekiel because they don't want to hear the Most High God. The IUIC doesn't want to hear us because the IUIC doesn't want to hear God. The Nation of Islam doesn't want to hear God. And Antifa don't want to hear God. The police don't want to hear God. So because of that, they don't want to hear us. Why should we keep going out on the street? Continue.
For all the house of Israel are impudent.
Impudent. You know what impudent means? Impudent is someone who's so proud that he refuses to change. There are men like that. They were like that in the Nation of Islam. They were like that in Black Lives Matter. They were like that in the Ku Klux Klan and the skinheads. The same type of person. The person who believes they're so big and bad and so proud, and they don't have to bend to God's will. They're impudent. Continue.
And hard-headed.
And what?
And hard-headed.
Yeah, they're hard-headed. The IUIC, those purple pigs are hard-headed. Just like the Nation of Islam and Black Lives Matter and Antifa and the Proud Boys and the police. Hard-headed. Keep going.
Verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces.
Read that again.
Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces.
Behold, I have made your face strong against their faces. Brother, this is no job for a coward.
Right.
I believe we've been telling all of you that. In the end, you'll absolutely win, and we can't lose. We never lose. We have not lost since 1969. We never lose ever. It doesn't happen. What our enemies don't understand is that we don't lose because of our manpower, because of our numbers, because of our money, or because of our physical strength. We don't lose because the Most High God sent us on that street corner. He sent us there. Continue.
And thy forehead strong against their forehead.
So what do you do? Now, what's the imagery that you're getting right here? Read that again, warrior.
And thy forehead.
No, read one before that. Go ahead.
Behold, I have made thy face strong against their face.
Why did the Most High make our face strong against their face? Because they don't want to hear us. They don't want us out on the street. They didn't want Jesus Christ out on the street. When they thought they were so mighty and they thought they could destroy him and his 11 men. They thought it meant nothing. But Christ and those 11 men went on to be the foundation to the kingdom of heaven. Are you telling me that that power doesn't exist? It exists right now. We'll show you. Some men need proof. We have the proof. I pray you understand that. So this is how you deal with someone that doesn't want you to come out on the street. This is how you deal with someone that doesn't want to hear God's word that you're sent to give them. The Most High has made your face hard against their face. Or they're going to give you a face like, we don't want you out here. They're going to march all around you and call. The IUIC, those purple pigs, have been calling the cops on us for 10 years. Everyone knows it. They've been calling the police on us for 10 years. Constantly calling the police on us and constantly committing crime at the same time. Because they're a group of purple pigs, terrorists, who think that they can take away people's civil rights by intimidation. That might work with some people. Antifa believes the same thing, and the Proud Boys believe the same thing. That's a whole different thing to do it to us, though. That's a whole different job if you're going to think that that works with us. It does not. It doesn't. Here's what we do. We make our face strong against your face. Keep going.
And thy forehead strong against their forehead.
What's the visualization that you're getting right there? Your forehead strong against their foreheads. You see it in your mind. Just see it. Who knows? Officer in the back. Say your name again.
Officer Mahayaman.
Mahayaman, go ahead.
So, collision force.
Collision. Right there. Two foreheads up against each other's forehead. And we're pressing it. Our foreheads against theirs. And the Most High God makes our foreheads strong against theirs. They push, we push. That's it. We push. They make a hard face, we make a hard face.
Right.
That's this job. That's the oath you have taken. And I pray every camp leader has made this oath clear to every man that takes it. You are not allowed to go cur in the middle of a fight.
Right.
That is not, you are not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to be a coward and to be an officer in this school. The Most High God said, make your forehead hard against their forehead. Continue.
And admit harder flint have I made thy forehead.
Let me give the names of the brothers who fought the Battle of Atlanta. Start me off.
Kyle Concert, priest officer, 5,000 Yarwaya.
Give Yaramiah a hand. Thank you for your service, brother. Thank you for your service. Go ahead.
Kyle Concert, priest officer, 1,000 Yawa.
Yahweh. Give Yahweh a hand. Thank you for your service, warrior. Go ahead.
Kyle Concert, priest officer of 500 Yarawam.
Yarawam, thank you for your service, warrior.
Kyle Concert, priest officer of 500 Gayashun.
Gaya Shun, thank you for your service. Go ahead,
Kyle Concert, priest officer of 50 the Pashaya.
The Pashkaya, thank you for your service. Go ahead.
Priest officer of 50 Malakwat.
Malakwat, thank you for your service.
Priest officer of 50 Isaiah Allah.
Isaiah Allah, thank you for your service.
Last but not least, sir, priest officer of 50 Mawasar.
Mawasar, thank you for your service. That's a hardcore brother, Mawasar. Ooh, and who was the brother that did the defense out there? Makwala, thank you for your service. Mayasar, thank you for your service. And all the brothers who fought the Battle of Atlanta, brother. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. You perform your service before God. Huh? You don't allow people to take away your freedom to speak, your civil rights. You don't allow that. That's not something you could do. Now, let me ask you a question. These men that fight like this on this street corner for their own civil rights, for their right to speak, for their freedom of speech, can you imagine the kind of glory they deserve at home with their wives? You women in the UPK, you better understand who you lay next to every night. You lay next to these men. You lay in a bed next to men like Maya Sar and those other warriors down there. You're not laying next to some average cat. You're some coward. Do you understand who's in the bed with you? You better. If you're a woman married to a brother in the Israelite school of UPK, you better know who you're laying next to. He is not an average man. He's not normal. And you better treat him like it, or else I'll find a bitch worthy to be with him. And I pray you understand. I'll find someone to give him. Give me the last precept I asked for. It's in the book of Psalms. Does anyone hold it for me? No problem. I'm sorry. You're going to go to the book of, stand by. I think I said Psalms 52.
Psalm 62, chapter
5, through out of order. Psalm 62 and 5 to 8.
Come. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 62, and verse 5. My soul, await thy only upon God.
You're a little too distorted up. I can't hear you well. Go ahead.
My soul.
Move it back a taste. Go ahead.
Come. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 62, and verse 5. My soul, wait thou only upon God.
The Lord said, this is King David, King Dawadah, Malak Dawadah. He said, my soul, that's it. Meaning he serves God. Do you think we serve some piece of garbage in purple? Do you think we'll do what you tell us to do? You think you can tell us where we can speak, where we can please tell us what to do. We know our rights, and we'll exercise them. And what man can come against us when God is with us? These brothers in the UPK, they're not cowards up. I don't know what fake Israelite groups are doing. They might be bending over every time you come around the corner. That is not what we will do in here. We're not going to do that. Continue.
God, for my expectation is from him.
My expectation is from him, meaning I only serve the Most High because I expect that he is the only one that I want a reward from.
Right.
I'm not expecting from anyone else to reward me for my service. I expect that God will reward me. So I only serve him. Continue.
God, verse 6. He only is my rock.
He only is my rock. What does it mean when the Most High says something is your rock? That thing that you are standing on. That thing that you are on, you're built on it. Well, the Most High God is my only rock. You think we would ever build ourselves on our numbers or our guns or our manpower? Three things that we have a lot of.
Right.
Tons of them. But that is not what we consider strong in the Israelite school of UPK under commanding General Yahanna. We consider the God we serve to be our strength. Continue.
Oh God, in my salvation, he is my defense.
He is my defense. The Most High God is what defends us up. Nothing else. Him. Continue.
Oh God, I shall not be moved.
I shall what?
Not be moved.
I shall what?
Not be moved.
I shall what?
Not be moved.
I shall not be moved. This is something that we believe in. This is why we can't retreat from the streets and can't fall back onto Instagram or TikTok. We can't do something like that. We would change who we are, and we would no longer be the disciples of Christ. We shall not be moved. Just stand by, brothers. I can't say a lot about this because, of course, we're working on it, right? We're working on it, and it'll be fine. But just know this. Our enemies that come against us come against the armies, not men. And they all realize that. They all do it. I've seen it too many times. Too many times. Now you're getting your chance to show your quality. Everyone understands. With that, pass the class over to the officer. What's your name again? Officer Bakari Olive. You're welcome.
Hello, y'all. Robert.
Yeah, I want to send y'all shout out the
Security announcements, go to I.S.U.P.K, starting out at 1 West and 125th Street, Rockville, New York. Welcome new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will report each other. After a 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18-21. Malachi, chapter 3, 8 through 10, means 10. In the Hebrew, Ma'asharah, 10% of everything, of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like, whatever upcoming holiday, holy convocation is Memorial blowing the trumpets, first day of the 7th month, Friday, the 15th of September, 2023, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. I can check the bulletin board in the hallway if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. With that, individual, Amadu. courtesy to salute to each other. Men of Israel, Abad Shabbat, Amadu, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Yazmatah. Men of Israel, turn to the sisters. Asar, sisters, stand. You give one courtesy to the sisters. Bring your hand, right hand over your left. Men of Israel, Amadu Shabbat, Amadu, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Adon Hashem Yahushua.
Yazmatah, class is dismissed. I got